Here we are. Yeah, Starfield. I think it's coming out this week, but only for people that like pre-ordered it or got pre-release or something like that. Um, yeah, pretty exciting. I don't know if it's. I feel like it's gonna be a good game. It's gonna be about as good as previous Bethesda games, possibly even better. Exia Quanti, welcome back. Yeah, thank you, thank you. But yeah, I don't know. Seems like there's a lot of customization that you can do in that game. They showed that you could make your own like flying ship. Like you can really, really customize it. That's cool. I thought I heard somewhere that it's gonna have. They already have DLC planned for it, which is, that's just how most games are these days. They plan ahead. It's gonna have DLC, blah blah blah, all this stuff. But at the same time, that seemed to me like that was one of those main points of attraction for Baldur's Gate, was that there was none of that. Like the game is just filled with content and stuff to do, and different costumes, different outfits, missions, side missions. And they never ask you like, hey, do you wanna give us more money, and so you can have more missions? Do you want more armor? Do you want to look cool? You look fine with all that free armor, but do you want to actually look like a total badass? You gotta pay up. Like so many games are like that now, including Diablo. Diablo and a lot of the Bethesda like Dragon Age games, even the first Dragon Age, which I was pretty excited to play that back in the day. I had heard so much about Dragon Age being the spiritual successor to Baldur's Gate, right? I really enjoyed Baldur's Gate 2. And you don't really get too far in the game, and they're already starting to be like, hey, pay up. There's like this whole... you meet a guy and he's like, hey man, I got a quest to do. Can you help me? I'm like, yeah, of course. No problem, dude. What do you want? What do you need? Yeah, well, first you're gonna have to pay up. First give me actual real money. And then I can tell you about my quest. I'm like, what? I hate this. It was the first time I ever encountered something like that, and I was like, ugh, awful. Arch, welcome back. Thank you, Arch. Laundry. Good old laundry, better than Diablo. I forget how they do it in The Witcher, but I think if you travel far enough, there's like this whole other area, and they just won't let you travel further. They're like, yeah, you want to get to this next area, it's DLC, so don't bother. And I mean, that sucks too, but at least I wasn't egged along by some person being like, hey, can you help me? First give us money. No VATs. Even with Fallout, was it Fallout 4? There wasn't really VATs in it. And everyone liked Fallout 3 VATs, but they haven't really done that since. Bacon! Konnichiwa, Bacon. How's it going? So did you get anything? Did you contract any disease from your trip? Oh, you're at the CNE. I was just saying, like, did you contract any disease from Fan Expo? But you're at CNE. Nice. How's the Gamer Garage? I do know that they have that back. Did you eat anything absolutely disgusting? Ah, parking spot. I do miss the CNE. I think it's been about like 2, 3 years since I've been to the CNE. And during the pandemic, there was a concern that it would be done. Like I thought at one point they were gonna be gone. But I'm glad that it's still around. You know, there's a handful of times. No Fan Expo virus. Good job, you did it. Yeah, I was very relieved that I didn't get anything uh, from Otakuthon. I was like, phew, good job. Because man, I did see some footage of Fan Expo, like, you know, just some YouTube videos of people going through it, and it's so packed, dude. I was like, ugh. All right, clean up all these pieces. Are you there by yourself, Bacon, or with family? Survived Japan and X with 3 for 3? Damn. Lucky. How's your family? I know your family got sick uh, after the trip to Japan. Are they all okay? Ah, meeting up with Mojo. Cool. Nice, nice, nice. That's where I actually met Mojo in person for the first time. Was at Fan Expo. And he was wearing a God of War hat or something. So I had been playing some games, right? Like Monster Hunter, I guess, with Mojo. But I hadn't met him in person. And all I knew from Bacon was that he really likes God of War. It's like one of my coworkers is really into God of War. I'm like, cool. He's really into it. He even went so far as to look up the actual mythology, you know, Norse mythology, all of this. He's really into it. I'm like, wow, that's wild, cool, awesome. And and so finally meeting Mojo, sure enough, he had like a God of War hat, possibly a backpack or a shirt, maybe just a hat. And I was like, oh, okay. Guess he really likes God of War. All right. I don't. I think they're having a Street Fighter tournament at the X, I believe. For those that don't know, in Canada we have this thing called like the Canadian National Exhibition, the CNE or the X, and it happens every, you know, sort of every end of the year, end of the summer, kind of like a state fair, but for like Canada. And yeah, you can see and do a lot of things. One of the big attractions is just like all the food. They have so much like gimmicky food that you can eat there, like, I don't know, bison burgers. I don't know if you want to call that gimmicky, but they've got like fried crickets, uh, deep fried butter, deep fried anything, actually, as a matter of fact. They have just basically any kind of fried food. Prof. How's it going, Prof? Novelty foods. Gimmicky sounds sketchy. I mean, yeah, you can call it novelty foods. It's but you could also call it gimmicky, and it is kind of sketchy. There's no doubt about it that some of this food is sketchy AF. As a matter of fact, it was a few years ago where they had to shut down one of the food stalls because they were offering, like, I forgot what they called it, the cronut. The cronut, which was like a donut that was also a burger that also was fried or something, and it had bacon jam, and there was a listeria. What do they call it? Like a listeria outbreak or something. Basically, their sanitation operation was not above board, and gross. There was something gross happening there. No more dollar pasta plates. Yeah, it's more than $1 now. End of an era. Pan-fried tarantula. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. They have all sorts of stuff. Really, for me, that was always the main attraction of the X. But they have other things too. Like they had this thing called the Gamer Garage, where it's a large space dedicated to different kinds of gaming, whether it be on PC or console. They had like a bunch of pinball games that you could play, which is kind of cool because that's sort of a dying thing, or it's been dead really. Pinball machines, so it's kind of cool to play them again. Different kinds of retro games. That was fun. There's a lot of shopping that you can do. You can buy products from all over the world. They have a lot of outlets and vendors, imported stuff. It's just a lot. They basically have so many different things that you can do at the X. None of it is like, and of course rides. Someone injured themselves on a ride. I just heard recently. Someone tried to stand up in a ride where you're supposed to stay seated. So I mean, it's his own fault really. Nike consume beverage. I got some coffee still. Let's see, what do we got? And I'm trying very hard to not sniffle too much. Keyword try. All right. What's a pinball machine? Come on. Dude. You guys gotta know what a pinball machine is. They existed before arcade games, electronic games. And basically you have a steel ball that you have to navigate through a bunch of obstacles and hit things and score points. Hate the new pinball machines that are all like digital. Yeah, that's really the only thing that's left at this point, right? There's like pinball machine games that you can play on PC that are recreations of the old original ones. It's disgusting. That's the only way people are actually going to even know about pinball machines at this point. Okay, this goes like that. Oh, big ass, really? Oh, I've never seen that. Then you bump the machine, yeah. I have not seen that. I don't know if I would like that as well, actually. Disgusting. It's not right. Okay. So, there's this large railing. I still remember, like, playing a bunch of, Star Trek. They had, like, this Star Trek TNG arcade game at my old movie theater or whatever. That was pretty cool. No sense of feedback, yeah. Time for bed. Alright. It's time for bed. Am I being put away to bed, or are you going to bed? I thought that, oh man. So I remember playing this one pinball machine. It was called Hercules. I'm pretty sure it was called Hercules. And it was gigantic. It was like 2 times it was 2 times the size of like a normal pinball machine. It was that big, right? And instead of a normal size pinball, it was like something the size of a baseball, right? The pinball itself was the size of a baseball. And remember that this is like a spring-loaded launcher. Like, you know, a normal pinball machine, you just pull back the spring and then let go and then it launches the ball. I remember being a little kid, right? And I had to use 2 hands to grab the launcher to pull it back, right? Because it's a really big coiled spring, right? And I had to even use like my foot to kind of like push up against the machine and then let go, because the machine was that big and I was that small of a child. That was really cool. Did I check out Daisy Ogre? I know how that thing looks, but I didn't check out the anime, if that's what you're asking. I've seen it. I've seen it. Not in stores, mind you. I don't think that any of my local stores have it. But yeah, I think you had pre-ordered it. Just the mech. Yeah, I think you pre-ordered it, or do you have it in already? Very interesting looking. You have it. Ah. Did you finish building it? If so, what did you think of it? Yeah, I saw that and I was like, this would be really cool to customize in some way. You live at work, I get you. Hopefully you can get to it at some point. And the game looks pretty interesting too, although honestly I don't really know what you do in it. I actually didn't even realize it was going to be this whole big multimedia project. Like, I didn't know it was going to be a game and an anime and a model kit thing. I only had seen the game. That was the first time I had even heard about this. And then I think I heard about the kit and then the anime. I don't know if it's taking off as well as maybe Bandai had hoped, right? Guess you're not one of the no, not one of the cool kids. Nope, nope, no. Hell, heavens no. Me cool. Damn. Damn. Alright, let's see here. Okay, let's just brush off some of this. Parking spot. Yes, please report back. Tell us what kind of nastiness you you consumed, that you put in your body. And say hi to Mojo. Everyone say hi to Mojo. There you go. Let's see. Yeah, it goes like this. Now, goes like that and like that. Wow, there's a lot to this. Okay, let's get out this one. Yeah, the X is one of those things too, the Canadian National Exhibition. That's another one of those things where it's like I'm so desperate to just squeeze in one more summer vibe activity, you know, something summery. Squeeze out more summer while I still can, and that's definitely another one of those things. But I haven't gone lately because I don't really live too close to Toronto anymore, and of course the pandemic and everything. I don't know if they canceled it at one point. They just sort of canceled it at one maybe 2020 or something. Ready for fall. Done with hot weather, man. I feel so divided about that. I don't know. Hot weather sucks. When it's too hot and you don't feel like doing anything, sweating through your clothes, that sucks. But also, sunlight. Can I have the sunlight, please? I like that. Okay, this goes in here. Let's make sure these are all clean. It'd be nice and cool this weekend. And the wildfires, yeah. More Canadian wildfires. It's like reaching overseas too. I had seen some pictures of like the weather map in gosh, like Iceland or something like that, and they were seeing it. They saw the effects of the weather, something like that. The fires, I should say. No more fires, please, Fire Nation. Please, Fire Nation. You must stop. Oh, let's kind of adjust. There's no fire embossing, say. I wonder if I should open up my window. Whoop! Sorry, guys. Let me try and open up my windows. Don't shake us. I shook you. I bonked you guys. Alright. Let's clean up this. This is the shield, of course. Quite large. I mean, I really like Halloween. Halloween is great, and maybe it's September that I have the biggest problem with, because it's like that in-between phase of summer and fall. But once you're like totally absorbed into October, then it's kind of like, all right, that's fine. I can fuck with October and the Halloween season. And I'm pretty sure I want to make like a Halloween build. I made a Halloween build last year, a 30-minute missions Mecha Musume, and I'll probably do that again, to be honest, because I ended up liking the result, and maybe we can make that a yearly thing. Last year, I did Sketchtember as well. Vanilla did too. Actually, between me and Vanilla, we were the only two people that completed all of Sketchtember, I think. Basically producing a drawing every day in the month of September. That was kind of fun. I'm not going to be doing that again, but I wouldn't mind doing spooky stuff, spooky drawings. That was fun. Just not every day. I've always heard that red is a really tricky part to clean up and make sure that there's no nubs. Because like the plastic, when you stress the plastic, you'll get that like little white mark. 2 weeks or thereabouts, maybe a bit more. Not including the actual building, just talking about the painting of it. The building I did at the start of the year. The avatar matches your pace, I know, right? It's my vibe. I'm trying to match the vibes. one of my favorite builders on YouTube. He makes dioramas. His name is Boyle Hobby Time. That's a Boylei. Boyle Hobby Time. And he makes some really cool dioramas with like LEDs, and he's creating his own sort of like fictional world too, which is kind of fun. You know, he's not relying on like making like a Gundam diorama, for example. But his most recent diorama is actually like a sloth, like a giant sloth monster. And he used a King Kong action figure and took off the head, 3D printed like a skull. I don't know if it was a sloth skull, but he basically kind of modeled it into a sloth skull. It was really cool. And again, yeah, he's got some really chill vibes too. Something I'd like to do more as well is like get to a point where I'm sort of doing a lot more custom work and possibly sculpting to create my own kind of designs in a sense, you know, instead of Gundam. That's something I would like to do. Whoa! Oh boy, I dropped something. Where did it go? And Futaba, no problem at all. This might be easier to assemble when it's all together, so let's do that. Might be easier to clean up. You know, at the beginning of the year, I did have like a kind of, I had a couple of goals in mind what I would like to do, and I also actually asked the chat, I asked the viewers what they would like to see me do, you know, in 2023. We did an end of the year recap, which is on YouTube, by the way. You can watch my my end of the year 2022 recap, where I went over like what was my best model kit, like what kit did I like the most, blah blah blah. And at the end, I asked, you know, suck. Very good, Carmi. Very good. Congratulations. Got me again. Beautiful. Wonderful. I mean, what else is there to say? Totally lost my train of thought. Okay, yeah. So then, you know, some folks said that like they'd like to see me do some working with different mediums, working with different materials for painting, right? And I ended up doing some of that with the diorama. I used some stuff that I haven't used before, like the effects paint and the moss paint. And then when it came down to working on the Delanza, I used the Panaline accent color. Used that for the first time. So yeah. At the end, we asked, what was my favorite? Oh my god. Impeccable timing. Impeccable. I mean, that's a... Carmi did it, but this is the quote. I used the Panaline accent color for the first time. And I also had some personal goals as well, like, you know, I wanted to enter a competition, and I did that. So, you know, we're doing pretty good as far as, like, you know, coming into the fall and then the winter, and feel like we're doing all right. I would like to make more original YouTube content. That's like one of the other things that I sort of wanted to do, and as of yet haven't really done that necessarily. I mean, I've made shorts, that's kind of unique to YouTube, but I meant more in the sense of like edited edited videos. So that's still on the agenda. If I can do one by the end of the year, I'll be happy. Okay, so now we need sock. Now I'm scared of saying anything because, like, it's just gonna turn into sock. I can say anything and it'll turn into another sock. Alright. Once per once per stream. Alright. Art, I don't know. Alright, let's put this back. Ooh, now it's getting... I got my window open and it's like cold. Oof. Feels like a setup, right? Right? I'm gonna get bamboozled over here. I'm gonna get hoodwinked. Yeah, so when I get back to AC a little later today, I'll probably just try and grind out the missions, try and get some higher grades, make some money. I definitely need to make that dough, make that cash, so that I can buy all the weapons. So I've heard there's like hidden items and hidden weapons in the game. You know, they're kind of like strewn about the various stages and you have to look for them. So that's something to keep in mind. I haven't encountered anything like that at all. But yeah. I mean, that's going to be probably a New Game Plus thing. Chests. Yeah, I haven't seen any chests at all. I tried using 4 legs, using the quadruped and quadrupod or whatever they call it, and it's very different. So the build that I had been using up until now has been the inverted knees. Is that what it's called? And I'm really liking that. I really like the speed that you have with it, the lighter frame. But I figured, you know, now's as good a time as any to experiment. Going into chapter 2, we can buy some of the other equipment. I'd like to try the tank legs as well. I mean, it looks a little dorky. That's the main thing. Even though, you know, the only thing that matters is the firepower and being strong. A part of me is like fashion souls. A part of me is like, man, this looks, the aesthetics. I'm like, man, look a little dorky with these tank treads. Maybe there's cooler tank treads later, but for now, I'm like, meh. But yeah, I would like to get something good. Try it out. All the different things. Or you could play 30 minutes Season 2 Diablo, please. Blizzard's begging you. You know what? They're really desperate because they have an XP bonus promotion right now where you can get like double XP and gold. They're like, come on. You gotta come back, right? We got double XP. You guys like XP? Come on, please, I'm begging you. You don't want to play that robot game? Screw that robot game. It's too late. Carmi's like, it's too late. Bad. I'm not taking... It's too late to apologize. Just like the songs. Too late to apologize. Double XP, come on. Oh, I don't know about the drop rates. If it was the drop rates, you know, my ears might perk up a little bit. It's a gold. Just Gnarly, how's it going, Just Gnarly? I spent the last 1,000 years cultivating my swag reincarnated as a hype beast in a hype dungeon. Is that a real thing? That almost sounds real. How's it going, Just Gnarly? You could have gave me that when we were together. Took me for granted. Oh shit. Should be real. Okay. Yes, that's a good one. It sounds so real. They're gonna have that like fireside meeting on Friday. They're gonna directly address you, Carmi. Like, Carmi, please take us back. You used to love Diablo. Remember all the good times? The barbarian, spin to win. Come on, Carmi. Don't drop that big robot. Come on, you don't like that big robot. Baldur's Gate, Schmalder's Gate. You don't want engaging plot lines. You don't want a rewarding story playing with your friends. Come on, you don't want a connected world with no monetization, microtransaction bullshit. Don't you want the microtransactions? Season of the malignant heart, Carmi. Come on now. And then vampires. Oh, come on. Season 2, get ready for vampires, you guys. So my brother told me about that, about like the double experience, and I was like, sounds a little desperate. Sounds a little desperate to me. Laundry. Laundry time. Alright. We could probably clean these up a bit more, but we'll just leave that for now. Where them big balls at? Here we are. Okay, this goes here like this. Now, they're telling me something about the way that you link this up. Mr. President Bobby, we have Carmi's playtime metrics from last month here. Looks fine to me, and here's this month. Ah! Yeah. We gotta get her back. Gentlemen, we have our mission. Operation Win Carmi back to the world of Diablo. She's been fraternizing with the enemy. She's been associating with robots, giant robot mechs. She used to be the biggest fan. This ain't right. Gotta win her back, gentlemen. Double XP? Do you think double XP and double gold will help? It's a start, but we're gonna need something more. Vampires! Oh, it's not enough. Sir, how about interesting and engaging gameplay and rewarding loot with unique skills and abilities? No. Blasphemous. You're fired. Making the game good? No. I can't tell you how many times I just turned that game on and then turned it off. And it was like one day left till like 1 or 2 days left till Armored Core dropped. And I was just like, holy shit, what am I gonna play tonight? I don't know what I want to do. I don't know what I want to play. Fired up Diablo. Loaded up the screen. Man, there was an update even, right? It's like, oh boy, let's get this update. You know, check back later. Finally fired up. And it was like, I don't feel like playing this, for God's sakes. Just turn it back off. That happens so many times. Why would we do that when we can simply make them buy more things? Duh, exactly. And then all the yes men at Blizzard, they're like, duh, obviously. Yes, of course you're right, sir. Of course, sir. That man was a fool. I feel you. I won't lie, I've been playing more DBFZ and Strive than AC6 lately. Oh, really? Interesting. It's just like the game that's captured you at the moment is like DBFZ and Strive. I have been playing Street Fighter 6 as well. In between my AC sessions, you know, at the at the end of the day, you know, just play some Street Fighter. It's been good. That are still doing well. I don't know, like, How about Hearthstone? I don't know. That game seemed reasonably popular for a while, but I don't know about nowadays. The patches have been really fun. That, and I've just been feeling super anxious when playing AC. Yes, I feel you on that. Definitely been like that happened more with Elden Ring for me. But when I was playing Elden Ring, I would like be clenching my jaw for like 3 hours straight. I was so tense for so long. I don't know about AC to that extent. Even when I'm dying a bunch of times, I just kind of have like a scientific approach. I'm just like, oh, okay, I died. Let me try this. Let me try that. And then after a point, it's just a matter of execution. Just normally, I won't even be fighting anyone or doing anything. I'm just in the mission area and just feeling anxious. Really? Wow. That's you know, I don't really like enjoy the anxious feeling, like the feeling of anxiety. Well, I don't think anyone does, truth be told, but yeah, that's not a good feeling. So hopefully that can pass after a while, and then you can just enjoy the game. Ashwin, how's it going, Ashwin? Just doing the final little bits of work on the Turn A Gundam. How are you today, Ashwin? Happy Wednesday. Ba-dum-bum-bum. Just gnarly. I don't find the game exceptionally difficult so far. Anyway, I think I tend to be adverse towards games with a strong sense of loneliness. Yeah, so then you probably didn't play those Souls games either, huh? Any of those Souls games? Those are like even worse in a lot of ways. Interestingly enough, I feel like there's a bit more of a connection in Armored Core because you often have someone talking in your ear. You know, that's not really a thing in the Souls game. You have mostly they're just telling you what to do, but at least it's something, right? Somebody's just telling you about this thing and that thing. Ashwin, no, it does not, unfortunately. I think it would be cool if it did, but it does not. You know, I think that if they did, it would be actually really easy. Like, the game would have been, like, exceedingly easy, because you could just partner up with someone who's, like, crazy good, and they could almost do all the work for you. Or, alternatively, they could, you know, balance the game for co-op and fill it with more enemies, and it would be, like, really hard and overwhelming. There's just so much shit on the screen. I don't think it's ever been a co-op. I'm not sure about that. That would be interesting to see. My feeling is no. But I get you in terms of like loneliness, because there is an aspect of like desolation to Armored Core. There's an aspect of like loneliness to it for sure. And there's something very impersonal about the game too. Like, as much as I was saying that like you've got this voice in your ear, and other characters talk to you as you battle and stuff, or sometimes you're playing Gundam Turn Anak. How's it going, Eddie? How's it going? Nice to see you here. Turn Anak, I'm fucking dead. there's something really impersonal about the game and the world, just because it's so it's not like you ever see a person. It's not like you ever see people, flesh and blood. You know, you just hear, they talk to you, they say things, but it's always through like this sort of dispassionate lens of a giant robot or a menu screen with a logo. You know, you'll never see a person talking to you. It'll always be some sort of logo talking to you. And again, that sort of feeds into this feeling of loneliness, this world that's sort of overtaken by corporate overlords and different corporations, all of this stuff. Yeah, that kind of all feeds into it. And the way that, you know, people call you very different things. Like, you're called Raven, you're called like R23, you're called whatever 619, 169, they're called this thing and that thing. Again, that all feeds into the impersonal nature of it. So I get you on that for sure. Gundam turn, Ainako, Rey Mysterio. Spade, how's it going, Spade? What up, what up, what up? So hard to get a PlayStation, right? Next year's got some heavy hitters. It's kind of crazy how it feels like every major game from the past 5 years is coming out within this 3-month period. I know, jeez. You did see that Unicorn game. So here we go. Here's the chain. Woo, it's pretty cool. The Gundam hammer. And really, there's only a few more things to do, so let's keep going, guys. Let's power through. You know what? I should put Mr. Gundam in the shot so that you all can see. Nice ball. Nice ball you got there. Where's that? Where's that in Armored Core? I mean, you put tank treads in the game, and you know, they know what they're doing. They know that people are gonna make gun tank, right? Ooh, look, there's a little pilot. Got some nice legs. Hey, nice legs you got there. You know what? Most Gundams have really nice legs. Most Gundams are pretty cute. That Ariel, it's got those shapely thighs. Don't the thighs get bigger and bigger as you go on? Like, yeah, the last one, the Schwarzette, it's just got beautiful big thighs. Hobbit feet. Okay, so F9. So we need F. Let's get F, guys. Nice turn, Anak. Why are Bandai Namco so cheap? X vs XVS looks like the same as for 20 years. Most versions of installments have a crap or non-existent story mode. I could complain forever. Yeah. Because it lives in the arcades. Okay, F. Wow, I'm gonna have to close the window. Holy shit, I'm getting cold. Why? Why? It just shifted into cold now. Ha 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 ha. Points with the lips, man. Iconic. Iconic. Pointing with the lips. You have to. I know it. It's getting cold in Canada now, eh, bud? Yeah, I know. What the hell? It's, it just makes me feel weird. It kind of bums me out a little bit. But we're gonna get through it, guys. We're gonna get through it. It's actually cozy time. It's time to, like, wear sweaters and shit like that. Which, I like that part. That part's cool. Here, actually, I'm gonna close the window now. It's too cold. Hold on, guys. Hold on. It missed the cold, Eddie? Yes. It's always the grass is greener on the other side, right? It's been like over 100 for 3 months. Holy shit.
Right now we're going to play another composition by
How cold does it get, Eddie? How cold does it get over there in Vegas? Ba-da-ba-ba. All right. Just gnarly. I honestly don't hate. Uh, I honestly don't hate that. At least to me, a fighting game doesn't have a great story mode, but it would be so cool if they put a home release for worldwide markets that wasn't a port of an already 6-year-old game. Yeah, yeah. So for example, like with Tekken 6, that was in arcades for several years at that point. But then they kind of polished it up quite a bit for home release. Put a lot of, a lot more content, including a story mode and stuff. So yeah, they should do something like that, and that's Bandai as well, right? I guess they feel like there's a cap on the popularity of the Gundam franchise, and so they're only willing to put so much money into it, right? But but maybe their tune is going to change. Do you know what I mean? Maybe their tune is going to change. Tekken 7 too. Oh, what did I say? 6. Um, maybe their feelings will change on that, just because of the success of Armored Core, and of course Gundam in general has been getting more popular. I don't know. I'm not even sure what I was. I think I meant to say Tekken 7 was in the arcades for a long time. Yeah. Cause 8 is the new one that's about to come out, right? Yeah, 7 was actually in the arcades for a while, before it made a home console release. It's a little lame that they made you pay for frame data, even though I don't really look at frame data, and I barely understand how to read it. But yeah, in Tekken you have to pay for the frame data. So yeah, like to Eshwin's point, Bandai's a little cheap. They definitely can be cheap in certain ways, and then in other ways they're not cheap. It was like 2 years before Tekken 7 came out. Was it 2 years? I felt like it was even more, but yeah, yeah. It's really whack. I kind of wish that the timing of the release of Armored Core kits from Kodo was sort of timed to the release of the game. But unfortunately, that didn't happen. Let's see. How... Again, we're having an issue where the orientation of this part looks so weird. I don't understand how this is supposed to look. Futaba, no. They feel like the West doesn't appreciate the property like Japan does, so most properties either do not release here at all, or barely. Yeah, hopefully that kind of changes, cause there's room for the brand to grow for sure. For Gundam, right? Okay, let's see here. Goes like that. This looks so weird. This doesn't even look like the part, dude. Am I crazy? Ah, consume beverage from Arch. I gotcha, Arch. Got a little bit of iced coffee left. We got some motherfucking weebs out here, yes. Definitely do. Ah, I see. It goes like this. Eh. Somebody really important and really old at Bamco gotta die for things to change up. Yeah, you know, take for example over at Capcom, they had Ono sort of responsible for the fighting game division as well as other games too. And I think they got to a point where they felt like everything he was doing was kind of stagnating or just had some problems, and it wasn't really all that exciting, the ideas that he was coming up with. So they kicked him to the curb, and then they got in the new guy whose name escapes me, Najamiya, and he's responsible for Street Fighter 6 now, and they're cooking, they're doing some great stuff, of course, with Street Fighter 6. Is this really a piece? F9? Sometimes you just need that new blood, right? Okay. Oh, I think it goes like this. I think I understand. Let's just say that I think I understand, even though I don't really. One. Aha. I see. It doesn't go down fully now, but I understand. And we gotta get G2. There we are. I was looking up other turn A Gundam kits, and really there's the HG version of this, and then there's the Master Grade Turn X, which looks really cool. I'd love to get that. But after that, that's it really. So in the 90s they made more. There was other Turn A kits. I guess they would have been categorized as like no grades or something. At that point they hadn't introduced the grading system of the model kits. So they're quite old, but there was like the Sumo and a couple of other cool designs. So, but those are quite old, so realistically speaking, I'm not really going to be able to get any of them. The one in 144 Turn A is good. Yeah, I feel like I want to get that just because I like this so much. Darling Desu, I have awoken from my nap. Butterfly looks great. I have awoken. The sleeper has awoken. Oh, all of them are. I see. Yeah, so what else is there? I know there's a high-grade Wodem pod, but that's actually out of scale, if I believe. It was made for build divers or something. Alright. Yeah, we're actually nearly done, as a matter of fact. This thing here is going to hold the gun? Okay. The Kapool. That's a fun name to say. Kapoor! Okay. Looks a little awkward. But let's put these here. Plan on visiting them myself at some point. Ah, so you have them already? Or you're just saying you want to get them? But that'd be cool. Gold sumo, yeah, hell yeah. Okay, where's that gun? And the gun clips back here. How so? How do? It's like this? Oh, you haven't got them yet, right on. Gotcha. Oh, you know what? I was looking up some reference pictures of sketches of the Turn A Gundam, and I was looking up just some general concept art, you know, for doing a diorama or what have you. And I saw that Hajime Katoki did a sort of reconceptualization of the Turn A, like in his own visual style, and actually a number of other Gundam designers kind of came up with their own unique revision of the Turn A Gundam, you know, and in many cases they sort of went and took this design and took it more in like a more traditional, typical Gundam direction. Do you know what I mean? Like this is so unusual in terms of Gundam design, but the redesigns by Katoki and others, you know, they, you know, got rid of the mustache and oriented it above the brow, for example, or made the mouth part more traditionally Gundam-like, the proportions and all of that stuff. And they're cool. They're very interesting concepts, but at the end of the day, I'm like, nah, you can't mess with this. Sid Mead's original vision, it's perfect. And so this master grade, if I'm not mistaken, Hajime Katoki was responsible for the tweaks and the overall sort of design of it, which he then, you know, took it with a more traditional approach. And I think that was smart, of course, but it is interesting. And that would be actually, if I was a better modeler, if I was a better sort of plot plate customizer, it would be cool to attempt to make Hajime Katoki's redesign of the Turn A. I don't think it's impossible, because again, he was using more traditional Gundam-like aesthetics. But that would be cool. Darling, is that called a mace or morning star? Yeah, so I think in the instructions they call it like the hammer. They call it like the Gundam hammer or something. I believe that is what they call it. But yeah, that is it. And it's much like the original RX-78. That had a weapon much like this too, and they call that like the something hammer. Even though technically, yes, Darling Desu, it is more like a mace or a morning star. I'm not sure which is which, but it is. That's what I would have called it. So we have a painting guide. We've got the cow. As you can see, the cow is black and white spotted, so we're gonna have to keep that in mind. 1-point step. All of this stuff. All these little instructions, but that's nice. Look at that. Very cool. It's simple in a lot of ways. It's not like it comes with a lot of extra stuff, but it's very nice. And it actually has a nice heft to it because of the inner frame, and it feels very solid. Like if I shake it around, you know, parts aren't falling off. You know, that's a thing about other model kits. It's kind of annoying when the little bitties start falling off. So very nice. And there's a couple of other extra parts floating around in this box, so we're gonna have to see. There's probably a few little tweaks and adjustments I need to make, but that is it. That is it for the Turn A. So actually, we could probably do something else with a small amount of time. Mustache looking good on fleek. The mustache on fleek.